following is presented by Motion Sports Network. What is up, everybody? Hey, it's me. It's America's most adorable co-host. Hey, I wanted to jump on today because this is one of the biggest days of the year. Greg, hey man, I'm glad you could join me. Hey, I was just starting off with saying this is like one of the biggest days of the year. And it's not because today is the beginning of daylight saving time. And just keep this in mind. It's daylight saving time. There's no S. If you say daylight savings time, you're a rube and a boob and a dummy. Daylight saving time. Be correct. The one lesson in life I can teach you is learn to be correct. Daylight saving time, Lido Pizza. So, Greg, how are things down in sunny Florida, bud? I'm not hearing you, Greg. All right, he'll get a mic fixed. Interrupt me when you can hear me, bud. So, all right, everyone, I wanted to jump on because today, not just because it's the beginning of daylight saving time, but because today, just about 6 o'clock, about an hour and a half back now, the NCAA and CBS released the brackets for the 2022 Men's National Basketball Championship, otherwise known as March Madness, and the road to the Final Four. So, I eat this stuff up. I'm all over the place. I got brackets. I got notes. I'm writing stuff. I will talk myself in and out of picks and
I should be on.
I hear you, Greg. You're here, buddy.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
all right. Hey, man. Have you got a chance to look at and maybe digest a little bit, some first impressions of the March Madness bracket that we just saw here about 6 o'clock?
Here's what I'm gonna do. Let's just show you my picks. I'm done with
okay. All right. Let me see your picks. I'm not that far into it yet. That was my next thing. I wanted to go and do that. I'm probably gonna go and do that live when we do the big show tomorrow night.
Here's mine, man. I mean, I got Gonzaga, I got Arizona, and I've got Auburn and Purdue in my Final Four, man.
Hold on. Hey, Greg, I'm going to need you to do me that again in just 1 second because I was interrupted of all things by my daughter sending me a text. Let me read this is from CBSSports.com. Tom Brady calls off retirement. 7-time Super Bowl champion quarterback says he's returning. We're coming back. We're coming. Hey, I can hear me and I can see me, Greg. I had a little Wi-Fi issue. I had to reboot. So
I just saw that. I'm getting texts all over the place. Tom Brady's coming back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. I don't know if I kind of like dropped out there as I was saying it. Man, I'm jacked. I'm jazzed. I'm pumped. I'm full of them and vigor and piss and vinegar and everything else.
Big sports news.
I love this day, and now we got some Tom Brady news that we're going to talk about. This is what breaking sports news is going to happen. So
while we're on air, Tom Brady decides to come back. Unbelievable. I just got several texts.
So if everybody, if you're not watching, you ought to be. Tell all your friends that we're here covering this first. While ESPN is talking brackets, Greg, I think we have to talk about Tom Brady. I wasn't expecting to do that. I've got all my bracket stuff here that I want to talk about. Quick thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I can't believe it. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I mean, okay. So my impressions were that him and Bruce Arians were not in a great relationship. Tom Brady was very frustrated with what happened. He had a lot of disagreements with what was going on last year, and it caused him into retirement, right? And I don't know. Maybe they're going to pay him, I don't know, $45-50 million this year to do it. I guess money talks. That's the only reason why I say Tom Brady would come back and do this. And also, running it back with the same team, who, I mean, they've made the playoffs, but dude, they're over the cap space. They've got
Rob
Gronkowski's not coming back.
That's yeah. I've got it here. You want me to read you the tweet that Tom Brady sent at 7:13 here today?
Yeah, I do want to see that.
Okay. These past 2 months, I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands. That time will come, but it is not now. I love my teammates, and I love my supportive family. They make it all possible. I'm coming back for my 23rd season in Tampa. Unfinished business. Let's go. So, something very
I don't understand.
that I saw in there that you were talking about. He says, I love my supportive teammates. I love my supportive family. He didn't mention his coaching staff and ownership group there in Tampa at all. So, could he orchestrate Bruce Arians leaving?
No, I don't think so, man. I mean, you can't. No, I don't think so. I think it's too late in the season to fire Bruce Arians. I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm here, Sam. I'm going to pull this up real quick. And that way we can
all right,
look
and kind of we're running on the fly. Hey man, while we're talking football, did you get to see the new banner that my wife made? My awesome Commanders suck banner. That's
awesome.
All over my left shoulder.
Let's read this out, Sam. Let's see. These past 2 months, I've realized the place is still on the field and not in the stands. That time will come, but it's not now. I love my teammates. I love my supportive family. They make it all possible. I'm coming back for the 23rd season in Tampa. Unfinished business. Let's effing go. Well, let me say this, man. There is no unfinished business. He's a 7-time Super Bowl champion. It is all finished. He is the record holder. You know what? Here's the deal. I saw a picture of Tom Brady on the field with Ronaldo. And I wonder, after seeing that game, if he got his competitive juices back watching Ronaldo play.
I don't. Well, yeah, maybe possibly, but I think that his competitive juices were still flowing even when he made that retirement announcement. To me, that almost seemed half-hearted. I think that he from then wasn't ready to walk away, and it was almost instantaneously. It seemed that reports were. Hey, maybe Brady comes back. This isn't exactly set in stone yet for Brady. I think it was a snap decision for him. And as he spent time thinking about it, he realized, man, I still want to play some football. And I mean,
suppose.
Well, okay, did his quality of play last year diminish to the point where you thought he would need to be retiring and stepping down? Right.
No. I think that's what it is, man. I think his competitive drive, knowing the fact that he did not um, get the fullest out of his potential. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
The fullest out of his potential, and I think there's like this bitterness. That's not the way he wanted to end. I still think Tom Brady wants to go out on top. And again, now the question is, does Rob Gronkowski come back? I don't think Rob's got another year in him.
I think he does. He may not play the full 17 games, but you don't need him. I don't think you need him to play 17. You need him to play the last 5 or 6 and get ready for the playoffs.
Who knows? But this is huge breaking news, Sam. The greatest quarterback in NFL history is coming back after announcing his retirement. And he may have talked to Brett Favre. He may have talked to, John Elway. He may have talked to, all these big, huge quarterbacks, and they all probably say, I wish I could still play today. I mean, like Kurt Warner and all these guys. I mean, they always get on air and say, I wish I could still play today. Tom is in physical peak shape still. Again, had an amazing season last year. Unfortunately, it fell short in the playoffs. But I think he looked at his division. Check this out.
Well, I think it's more than that. I think it's more than looking at his division. But go ahead here.
New Orleans doesn't have a quarterback.
Yep.
Carolina doesn't have a quarterback.
Yep.
Right. Tampa is squandering. Other than with what they have. Right. I don't know if anybody has a chance to win that division other than Tampa.
There's 6 wins right there for Tampa, just in that division. So that's pretty easy. And I think when you said
Atlanta still has Matt Ryan, doesn't have any talent around him whatsoever. And so, I mean, I think Tom can come back and says, look, I can easily win this division. We're definitely going to the playoffs, and let's see what happens. And another thing, too, Sam, check this out. I think he also looked at the whole NFC as a whole.
That's
Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers did come back going to Green Bay. But, dude, all the good young quarterbacks are in the AFC, and he thinks he could probably make it back to the Super Bowl. No question. All he has to do is get through Green Bay.
Get through Green Bay, because I really don't think the Rams are going to be able to reload their team next year as they loaded themselves up for this year. Dallas,
no.
You think Dallas a top contending? Who in the NFC are you worried about? Green Bay, and that's probably the list. Yeah. If you're Tom Brady,
guys, those of you just joining us, Tom Brady just a few minutes ago put out a tweet saying he's coming back to the NFL. We just got on air. We were getting ready to talk about the NCAA bracket. We're going to still talk about that, guys. But this is a huge breaking news that just happened while we're on air. And, man, this is going to, this turns all tides, man. I mean, I know this is, maybe this is overstating, again, he's 44 years old, Sam. He's our age. He's going to turn 45 in the NFL.
Wow.
He's going to turn 45 years old once he is playing in the NFL this season. That is an absolutely incredible thing. And also, too, I think again, it might be brand base. He still wants to proceed with this TB12 thing. And I don't think, he did not control the narrative, dude. Like, when it first came out, remember Adam Schefter and reported that Tom Brady was leaving. And then Tom Brady did an absolute terrible job not thinking the Patriot fans, not thanking Robert Kraft, not thanking all these different things. And I don't think he was ready for that retirement official, big announcement. And I think it kind of got leaked out. And, I don't think I think that was a bitter taste in his mouth. And I think he wanted to kind of hit the reset button, redo it again, and then come out saying, look, and control the narrative, and then promote his businesses and so forth. I think he wants just to hit the reset button again, dude, and do it all over again. What do you think?
Yeah, and something else is we're just sitting here thinking about this. Hey, whoops, no, shut up, you. Okay, hey, I just started hearing you again out of my phone, man. All right, okay. I don't necessarily think that this is part of Tom Brady's character, and I don't think if you're an NFL player that you would necessarily do this, but think about it. what if what if we hear in the next week or so he says, I'm coming back one more year. I'm going to put the band back together down in Tampa. We're going to get it everything that we have to win it one last time. One last time before I ride off into the sunset. Then he can take that kind of retirement tour, and get. I mean, he had a lot of the spotlight and limelight on him this season. What if he gets it all? You're talking about him building that TB12 brand. That's a way to get it. Would you do that? Would you say I'm going for one last shot, or because really he can't play 24, 25 years, can he?
No, man, no. I mean, look, you have to be narcissistic and to be a good player, right? You have to, invest in yourself, and you have to be, completely all about yourself to be that kind of star athlete. Look at Tiger Woods, look at Michael Jordan, Tom Brady. I mean, they all have this narcissistic attitude. And again, I think it is, Sam, truly do. I think it is the fact that he did not control the message when he retired. And I think he hated that. Again, and he dropped the ball. He got a lot of criticism out of New England for not thinking New England and all these other things. I think he wants to try to kind of change all that and redo it and hit the reset button and then do it the right way when he officially retires. But this is something else, man. And again, I think there's got to be a lot of talk with Bruce Arians and all these different other people. There's going to have to be some major, come to Jesus meetings with these guys and let Tom Brady go. But look, if I was Bruce Arians, like, let's go. Let's put all that aside. You're my quarterback. Let's go.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't care. I don't care who you are. If you're Cleveland, if you're Dallas, and you had the chance to get one ride with Tom Brady, it'd be like, Dax, go set, buddy. You can watch Brady do it for a year.
Yeah. Again, Tom Brady coming back to the NFL. But I've only got a couple more minutes, Sam. I do have to go, but I do want to get into this bracket real quick, man.
All right, give me some. I wanted some quick thoughts. So you're going to give me a Final Four of Gonzaga, Purdue.
Let me say this. My quick thoughts is this: Virginia Tech got robbed. I'm looking at it real quick. Virginia Tech won the ACC. Okay, they beat a very good Duke team that could do well.
The ACC.
They got an 11 seed. Okay?
Uh-huh.
I think they deserved at least an 8 seed for winning the ACC. So for some reason, Sam, this committee disrespected the ACC all year.
Absolutely.
And I think Virginia Tech deserves a better seed than an 11 seed. I do think Virginia Tech's going to beat Texas, but dude, then they got to face Purdue the next round, and I think they get bounced.
Yeah.
That to me is unfair because again, running the gauntlet in the ACC, Sam, that used to mean something.
Yeah. I mean, what has happened? I mean, just quickly looking at this, the Big Ten has the most members in the tournament. I think I haven't got to count it out. Big Ten, SEC here yet, and seems like all of your Big Ten teams are in the higher end of the rankings.
Sam, why did North Carolina get an 8 seed and Virginia Tech get an 11 seed? Why play the tournament conference championship then?
Yeah, I know.
You need to flip those numbers.
I'm with you. I'll give you that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Number two, the Atlantic 10 has 2 teams. It has Davidson and Richmond, okay, in the tournament. Richmond does not belong in this tournament. They lost the A10 championship. I'm sorry. The A10 only deserves 1 team. They're a minor conference, okay? They have Richmond at 12. They don't deserve that spot. But
the Atlantic 10 used to be a pretty darn good conference, and I think they've slipped.
Davidson destroyed that conference.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was hands down. Davidson destroyed that conference. So I think Richmond doesn't belong.
Davidson's only getting a 10 seed.
And Richmond's getting a 12 seed. Now, look, as I say that, I do believe Richmond does beat Iowa because I think Richmond during the tournament, the A10 tournament. They were in the A10 championship against Davidson. They deserve. I think they're going to beat Iowa. Iowa's a fake team. I think Iowa's fake.
Iowa just won the Big Ten.
I think Iowa's fake.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a hard thing to think about. We just saw that game just ends, and here come the brackets, and I want to give all this love to Iowa,
Yep.
but that's why I've got.
I think Purdue is the
make, and then I sit and think about it.
Yeah, I think Purdue's the shining star of the Big Ten. Just going up here real quick, this is beginning of the bracket, guys. This is for me. This is my picks. But obviously Gonzaga, the overall number one, well deserved. I think Gonzaga is going to run the gauntlet. I think Gonzaga has an easy way through the championship, dude. I think absolutely. I think Gonzaga does face Auburn in the championship. Gonzaga has the easiest road of all the number one seeds. I think Gonzaga has the easiest road.
I think so. And one thing that I like to do when picking my bracket is I want to look at each region as a whole and try and say which team I believe in the most in that region that's going to win it, and I put them on the line to win that region, and then I work backwards, and that can then you can find yourselves some upsets. You can if you work backwards. It's almost in my opinion it's a smarter way if you are really really confident. I mean I think I'll say there's no less than I'd say no less than 8 teams that would not surprise me to be playing on championship night.
Yeah. Sam, hold on one second, okay?
Yeah. So, all right, Greg's gonna drop. He's got something to do. So let me. We started off talking with how about Virginia Tech getting disrespected? I think there's some other disrespect things that happen there. What we said, the ACC as a whole, Virginia Tech and North Carolina. I also think it was a little bit disrespectful to put Duke in the same region as Gonzaga, the overall number one seed. Disrespect for the name of Duke, but the way Duke has played down the stretch, not very well. So I think that's what got them. I'm going to call Duke the number 8 overall seed because they're that would make them the last of the number 4 of the number 2 seeds. And so that's why they got put there. But I totally think that's the way that they played down the stretch. That North Carolina game and a Virginia Tech game where absolutely this team showed no heart, and a Mike Krzyzewski team showing no heart. I've seen it happen in games, and they usually turn out to be blowout losses for Duke. And those were 2 examples of it that you've just seen here in the last week. Iowa, I'm going to say that Iowa gets some disrespect for winning the Big Ten in getting as low as they are. I'm sorry, everybody. Look, I'm just shooting off. I just wrote down things real quick. I don't have everything that I want here.
All right, I'm back.
Greg, I'm talking about other teams I think got disrespected. I think Ohio State got disrespected with that matchup that's 7 seed and that matchup of Loyola Chicago. I'll tell you right now, Loyola Chicago's beating Ohio State.
That's who I have that too. I have Loyola Chicago beating Ohio State, as you can see. And let me just say this. I think going back to this down here at the East bracket right here.
Okay.
UCLA as a 4 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Man, UCLA, dude, I've got them going like deep into this deal. Okay. I understand Baylor. I do understand Baylor. Okay.
Yeah.
It was tough for me. Kentucky did not have a good end of the season. It was tough for me to look at Baylor in Kentucky. I thought Kentucky was actually going to get that number 1 seed, but I guess not. They're going to be stuck with the 2 seed. But I think UCLA is going to. I think UCLA is going to take Baylor to town. I really do. I love this UCLA team, Sam. I think this UCLA team is kind of like back in the. It's like a throwback.
I like that, and just another way to think about that is if you are picking your bracket and you look at when you're picking in your Elite Eight round, and you're like, oh man, I've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3. That's not good. That is not a good setup. Not all of your 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s are going to make it to the Sweet 16, and you're not going to see. I will almost bet you that there will not be a single 1 versus 2 matchup in this tournament come Elite Eight weekend.
Well, I've got 1, 2. I've got Auburn. I love this Auburn team. Bruce Pearl's doing a fantastic job. He's got these boys rolling. Arizona and Auburn. I got Purdue, which I've always been on Purdue since day one, and Gonzaga. But I think the hardest conference by far to pick was the Midwest. I think the Midwest is going to get blown up. I mean, I see some teams like some major upsets coming out of this Midwest, man. I see Miami, defeating USC. Miami could go pretty far, man. Jim Leonard.
On that Miami USC thing right there, you want to talk about disrespected? Do you know where that game is being played?
It's out in Midwest, man. It's Indianapolis, isn't it?
How about Greenville, South Carolina?
Oh man, that's crazy. So USC has to play
all across the country and let them play in almost Miami's backyard.
Wow, that's insane.
That's a disrespect. So Miami. See, I call the Midwest. I think it's the easiest of the 4 regions. The easiest for your top seeds, your Kansas, Auburn, to get through and possibly play each other for the right to go to the Final Four, because everything else is totally up in the air. Those teams, there's going to be a ton of upsets coming out of that Midwest.
Guys, here's the upset I think could happen. Even though I picked the 4-13, I picked the 4 seed, the Providence. I think South Dakota State could beat Providence, guys. The 4-13 matchup, you could see the 13 seed advancing here. Whatever, if you're gambling, man, whatever that spread is, obviously Providence is going to be favored. They might be favored by 9 or 10. You take South Dakota State, man. They are a great, fast running team. They play great defense, and take the under, guys. Take the under in this game. Take South Dakota State and the under, and I think you're going to cash in.
I don't like Wisconsin's matchup with Colgate there in the Midwest.
I agree, man. I agree wholeheartedly. Again, I think this whole Midwest bracket is going to be a gauntlet. This is going to be the hardest one. I think this right here is going to be, for everybody, it's going to be very hard for people to pick, man. I really do.
It's going to be hard to pick correct, but when you talk about picking your Final Four, who's going to the Final Four there out of the Midwest, I think that's going to be pretty easy. Where did I have that one at? I've got stuff everywhere. I've got like 6 pages, and these brackets just popped out at 6 o'clock, man. So
hold on 1 second. Okay.
Oh, hey, there's Oshi. Hey, there. Look. When Greg is off in Motion Sports Mobile Command, you never know what's going to happen. The wife, the kids, the dogs, they're all down there too. So it's everybody's getting to share space inside of Motion Sports Mobile Command. So, but look, you're watching this because you don't want to see the polished professional, the Jay Billises, and I'm going to talk and look at my suit I've got on. No, screw that. I've got a shirt on that I got my Under Armour sweatshirt on that just was washed. So I am wearing clean clothes. But look, this is sports talk, sports coverage by sports fans, for sport fans. I don't have all the numbers. I can't spit these crazy stats out at you, because I think that you let stats get in your way and get in your head and get in your mind too much. So this is a big time feeling kind of thing. NCAA March Madness. Oh boy! All right. So let me go back. Some of my other disrespected teams. Auburn, I don't like. I think that's a little bit of disrespect putting in that bracket. Or region to have to face Kansas there in the end. I think that's one of your only teams that's I think it's one of your number 2 seeds with a best chance to get through. I'm even going to put, and I'm on the record here as being a Duke fan, and I want to see something really, really good happen for Mike Krzyzewski in his final year. Before last night's ACC championship game, I would have said I can see Duke going to the Final Four, going and winning this, and Krzyzewski riding out as a winner. I don't think that as much now. My brackets are usually, how do I get Duke to the end and win this thing? But this year I can't do that. So the team I always pick to win, I'm definitely not going to be picking to win this year. In fact, I'm going to put Duke on upset alert as the number 2 seed against Cal State Fullerton. It's a heart thing, and I already talked about that. Daggone, man, I've already the 30-minute mark. It was really planning on just a quick 30 minutes here, but daggone, Tom Brady had to pop out. Got an 8. Yep. Okay, good. Boise State gets an 8. St. Mary's gets a 5 seed. Murray State, the Racers, getting a 7 seed. Houston, a 5 seed. Colorado State, the 6. Man, there's some love going on to some mid majors, and I like that. As I said, with thinking about what to go and pick and how to get the team that you like the most to the Final Four, keep this in mind. Your top seeds are very vulnerable. A lot of these are younger teams with players who have only been together for a couple of years. The reason mid majors have been going on this upset tear for the last few years is because those teams have been together, stayed together, played together for a long time. So just thinking that, oh yeah, man, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Sweet 16. No way, not a chance. Hey, Greg, I went and looked, and I saw the Vegas odds for your top 5 teams to win. You want to take a guess at the top 5 there?
Well, I think okay. So I would say it's probably gonna be 8-1. You've got probably 8-1 Gonzaga.
Yeah, I don't have your odds, but I'm just your teams, your teams to win.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Gonzaga number 1.
They are number 1. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna go with Arizona number 2.
Yep, you got it.
And then I'm gonna go Auburn number 3.
No, Auburn's not in the top 5. I didn't write down the top 5, so I'm not going to tell you where they are. How about the same conference?
Tennessee.
No, Kentucky. Vegas. Hey, so this is Vegas. It's Vegas. It's Vegas odds, and Vegas likes the big boys because your number 5 are big boys as well. Number 4.
So then you have Duke.
Duke is number 4. Greg, would you bet your shoelaces that Duke is going to win this tournament?
No.
Not a chance. Not let alone my heart.
Not after what I saw at the end of the season with them losing North Carolina at home and then losing to Virginia Tech in the conference championship. No, thank you. I don't want any part of Duke. I think they do make it to the Elite 8, and I think they get bounced.
You think you dropped off, but I'm putting Duke on upset alert.
Oh, 100%. I agree. I mean, early upset, right?
Number 2, yeah.
And then number 5, I'm going to say Baylor.
Baylor, that's it. Yeah, that's your top 5. I mean, I'm going to say your winner is going to come from that mix, and maybe a Auburn, Tennessee. I really like going and seeing.
I think Sam, the SEC this year was a very good basketball conference, and again, they beat the tar out of each other. You had Arkansas, you had Alabama, you had Kentucky, you have Auburn, you've got Arkansas. I started Arkansas already. LSU. I mean, I think there's like 6 or 7 teams in the in this conference, the SEC conference, that made this big dance. I think you said the Big Ten was number 1. I think SEC number 2, and I think Big 12 was number 3. But like I said, dude, this is not going. I think this is going to be a chalk tournament at the end of the day. I think your 1s, 2s, and 3s will make it through. However, I think it's going to be pretty ugly for your 3s, 4s, and 5s. All the way through early. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think you're going to see some higher seeds.
And
It happens every year, Sam. The higher seeds, there's always this Cinderella story, right?
No, I don't see. I could see Colorado. Colorado State is a 6th seed. Colorado State is a 6th seed. I could see them as a Sweet 16, but as a number 6 making a Sweet 16, not really an upset. Loyola Chicago, I can see them getting there. South Dakota State, they've made some noise in the tournament before. Vermont, a number 13 seed. Is Vermont in the tournament every single year? Do they win their conference every single year?
Pretty much. Yeah, they always win.
So that is a kind of a proven team. They make a Sweet 16. I won't be surprised. St. Mary's is a number 5. There's some Cinderella stories to look at and look for. But in the end, I don't know, man. I could definitely see Arizona getting tripped up. If Illinois can get that far.
Hey, Sam, mark this down. Listen, I think out of the Midwest Conference, I think the team that you have to really worry about is a higher seed. Believe it or not, has the firepower on any given Saturday or Sunday. San Diego State beating Kansas. I think that could absolutely happen if they get by Creighton. Now, Creighton's no slouch.
Right.
San Diego State is always a team to watch out for. They are a covering machine, by the way.
That's another team that makes the tournament seemingly every year too.
Yeah, they make a bunch of noise. They make a bunch of noise, dude. But Kansas is a big, strong. Bill Self has a great team there. Big, strong, big guys in the paint. Can do a lot of damage. But San Diego State can run and gun like the best of them. Watch out for that matchup come the second round. I think the San Diego State could be on upset alert if they can hang with them early. Maybe only be down like 2 or 3 at halftime. I think that could be a major, major upset. So, I don't know, Sam.
What game are you talking about again there?
I'm talking about San Diego State beating Creighton and then San Diego State beating Kansas out of the Midwest.
All right.
Now, I have Kansas moving on, but I think San Diego State can actually take out Kansas.
Yeah. So let me tell you. I don't know if I've ever told you. I think we've covered this a little bit before. But I'm gonna pick my bracket, and I'm gonna be sitting in front of the TV come noon on Thursday and Friday and watching games. But if I pick Arkansas to beat Vermont, but Vermont's got the lead or is close in the closing couple minutes of that game, I start rooting for Vermont. I root against my bracket, and I root for upsets. Yeah. Is that one of the craziest things that you've thought or ever heard? But I love these teams that can steal those wins like that.
I agree with you. And here's another team I want you guys to pay attention about. Again, a Jay Billis special. San Francisco, the 10 seed. This team out of the East, they're taking on Murray State the first round. San Francisco, again, could beat Kentucky if they get through.
Your matchups.
They could upset Kentucky. It's a 2-10 matchup.
Yeah. Oh, could take a Kentucky. Yeah. That's in you. 20 years ago, you would be crazy to say that San Francisco is going to beat Kentucky. But if you have paid attention to
these mid-major schools get these recruit rejects from the major blue schools, and they've got something to prove every single year. And Sam, it happens every single year. It happens all the time. These kids from San Francisco were rejected by USC. These kids from San Francisco were rejected by UCLA. They could have been easily on that team, but for one reason or another, they didn't get recruited. They have something to prove. And I'm telling you something, guys. These little mid majors, they're dangerous. They're dangerous, and a lot of your NBA players don't come from these blue collar schools. They come from these like mid major schools. Where's Steph Curry come from?
That's what I was going to say. Steph Curry
Davidson.
almost beat Duke for a national championship
By himself.
Yep. Yeah.
By himself. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally would not be surprised to get to Sweet 16 weekend and have 3 number ones and 2 number 2s left when we're looking at a Sweet 16. Would not surprise me. Nothing is going to surprise me because I've seen this. I've seen these teams. I mean, heck, UVA got bounced 4 years ago now, was it? As a number 1 seed. That had never happened. Your 2-15 matchups are getting better, getting tougher. Let alone talk about your 5-12s, your 4-13s, 6-11s, 7-10s. Every single one of those could be an upset this year, and would not surprise me one bit. Any team.
Well, this bracket more so than anybody this year. No. This is the year of parity, Sam. This is the year of parity. There's really no one I can sit there and say, even the Gonzaga. Gonzaga's number 1 overall. I think Gonzaga can go down at any time. I have them winning the whole thing. It scares me to death. Again, I mean, they could easily get bounced by, like a Baylor, or I've got UCLA out there too. I mean, look, or Purdue. I got Purdue. They could easily get bounced by anybody like that, man. I mean, who knows? Again, I mean, as you know, the NCAA March Madness is crazy. It happens every year. There's always going to be that Cinderella school, man. And again, I'm excited for it. But Sam, I've got to get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow night, brother.
Greg, I appreciate you jumping on here with me. I had a blast. I'm gonna finish up with some thoughts here with everybody who wants to stick around. So, all right, back to me. All mine again. All mine. I don't know why I shared that with that time. Shared my time with Greg. Why did I do that? Oh, because he created all this. He's the boss. He can come on and do it whenever he wants. Nah, man. Me, gosh. If I think back some probably 30 years now, 30 plus years now, when with Greg and I sitting there with the newspaper spread out before us, and we're doing all this thing. We've done it for 30 years, and so here we are doing it for everybody now. Let me just go through and go. I'm going to go region by region and give you teams that I like a chance to get through and get out. And this isn't even in my total list. This is just a quick impression kind of list. Your 1, 2, 3, 4s, easy. In the West, Gonzaga and Duke. That's your 1 and 2. Texas Tech is a number 3. I even like them. The Texas Tech team has played very good in a very good Big 12 conference. And Michigan State, a down year for Michigan State, only sitting as a number 7 seed. But if you're going to bet against Tom Izzo and Michigan State, do that at your own peril. I'm not going to tell you that I like that team necessarily to come out of the West region, but I wouldn't really exactly be surprised either. So then to the East, I mean, this one's pretty chalky too. Baylor, UCLA, Purdue, Kentucky. There's your 1, 2, 3, 4. I also like Texas. I mean, what is it with me in the Big 12? Am I just overly Big 12 happy because of that's where West Virginia. You have West Virginia, terrible year this year, but if they had a little bit of a better year, I'm sure I'd be picking them with some chances to go far. And as we talk about some of the crazy things that can happen, the crazy upsets and stuff like this, and we said how Virginia Tech got disrespected with that 11 seed, I could see Virginia Tech beating Texas. And then if you're Purdue, would you like to be having to break down the film of the last 5 games of Virginia Tech's season where they go through the ACC and pull an upset of a Texas? Heck no, you wouldn't. So if Virginia Tech makes a Sweet 16, I'm not going to be surprised. And then you're Kentucky worried about them. So there's a chance for a team that could really shake some stuff up and really make this thing look bad. I'm just going to keep on hypothesizing here. So I've got we got Virginia Tech that's going to beat Texas, and then they upset Purdue on a last second buzzer beater. Then it's time for Kentucky, and that team plays with that grit and determination and hustle that they played in the ACC championship with against Kentucky, and all of a sudden Virginia Tech is an Elite Eight team, and then you go up to the top part of that, and we talked about it earlier. North Carolina with a chance to upset Baylor. As a number 8 seed. So just saying that my fortune telling is correct here. And I've got Virginia Tech who makes it out of the bottom part of that bracket. North Carolina upsets Baylor. St. Mary's, UCLA. So North Carolina State and UCLA. I mean, we've seen lots of North Carolina. Maybe it's called North Carolina State, UNC. We've seen lots of UNC UCLA games. UCLA then squeaks one out versus North Carolina, and here's this plucky Virginia Tech team that absolutely nobody in the world thought should be anywhere. And for the right to go to the Final Four, it's number 4 UCLA, number 11 Virginia Tech. Look, it's not called March, we know what's going to happen. It's called March Madness for a reason. These wild and crazy things can happen. So as crazy as I have just predicted a UCLA Virginia Tech Elite Eight matchup, wilder things have happened. So do not at all be surprised. But in the East, you've got some really, really powerful teams. In the East, Baylor, UCLA, Texas, Purdue, Kentucky. In the South, I think this one's going to kind of probably go a little more chalk than most of your other brackets. Chattanooga has a chance there, but Illinois, I like that team. The teams that come out of the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, the Pac-10, Pac-12. Those are some of I think some of your better basketball conferences. I think the ACC has slipped a good bit here in recent years, so I'm not quite putting them in that level. But hey, I like I'm really liking Tennessee coming out of the South. A Tennessee Arizona matchup looks very probable to me. As does Illinois and or Houston upsetting Arizona. Then when it comes to Sweet 16 time, there's this thing it's going to be a blast. It's going to be fun. That's why it's actually I took Thursday, Friday off work because there was some days I wanted to take off without even realizing it was this. But these are days that I take off all the time. I treat this thing almost like the Super Bowl. We're gonna make all the food. We're gonna make all the snacks. We're gonna have all the beer. The spread is gonna look almost like it was Super Bowl night when the Thursday, Friday games come around, and just my wife and I we have an amazing time with this every year. And as I said, it's not just me who roots for the upsets. It's her that roots for some of these upsets too. And so I asked her, and she's sitting here watching the selection show right along with me. And so I said, I want to know some of your thoughts. She was just running them off real quick, and sometimes that less analytical side is what the less analytical side, your brain doesn't get in your way. Us sports nerds think we know what's going to happen with the brackets. Trust me, follow my bracket. This is the winning bracket. But that's why you'll see you'll see a guy, his wife, who's not a sports fan at all. She's like, fill a bracket out too, and the kids will fill a bracket out. And then come when it's time for the Sweet 16 games, he's looking at his bracket that he's crumbled up 3 or 4 times, and she's like, oh my gosh, I've done really well here. And look, little Timmy and little Susie, they've done better than you have too here, Dad. What's wrong? I thought you knew all about sports. Because they're not thinking. They're going more off of the team that's got the fluffier mascot, or man, I really like the time that we spent in Chattanooga, so I'm going to pick Chattanooga to win. So some of the things that I asked her for that she gave me, she's going to say she's got Gonzaga winning the whole thing. She said Gonzaga. I it was Friday night when we were talking about some stuff and just looking at some stuff. She's like, I got Gonzaga winning this thing right straight off. She's saying that Chattanooga is going to upset Illinois. That's a definite upset. That's one of the high probability of upsets that I'm going to think as well. And she's also telling me Loyola of Chicago upsetting Ohio State. I'm totally on board with that one too. And she's telling me Rutgers squeaking out of that first 4 game with Notre Dame, beating Alabama. I'm not going to say, if I were any team setting 3 through 8, your teams, you're the ones that are in the prime upset part. Anybody setting 3 through 8, I would be worried about getting beat, about getting upset. It's just the NCAA is just way too. It's way too even. I like Gonzaga a lot, but I don't think that I don't think that Gonzaga is unbeatable. I like Kansas. I think Kansas had a very good Big 12 tournament. I like all of the number 1 seeds. Maybe with the exception of Baylor, I think that they're probably the weakest of your number 1 teams, but only by a little bit. But I can't find a number 2 or a 3 team that I would put ahead of Baylor. If Duke could have got it done versus Virginia Tech, then I could say Duke being the number 1. That's how far, and I call Duke the worst of the number 2 seeds. That's how much that loss hurts when in seeding as comes this time of year. Man, I seriously can't wait. I think every one of these games has the potential to be a very good game, to get some great basketball. So I don't know if I should shill for them or not. Oh, screw it. Why the heck not? Look, if you all these games are scattered across your TBSs, your TNTs, your Spikes, and True TV, I think it is. But I myself, I'm a subscriber to Paramount Plus. I really like it. There's lots of great TV in there. But that is the one spot to go. I'm in the Paramount Plus app to watch all my basketball, and I don't have to worry about flipping stations. It's just press a couple buttons and I've got the next game on. It's way better for us today than it was 15, 20 years ago. If the game that you were watching, if you were watching a 116 game and that was just an absolute stinker, you would hope against hope that they would flip over to some good game. But if it was, if you lived, if living here in the DC area, if it was a Georgetown or it was a Maryland game, that's what we were going to watch. We were going to watch it tape to tape. They weren't going to be cutting away from that here in this area. So we were absolutely screwed. It's so much better the fact that we can go and watch all these things and go to a bar where they're going to have every game on all right at the same time too. It's just so much fun. This weekend is probably this coming weekend is one of the most fun for sports fans of the entire year. And when I say sports fans, I don't just mean sports fans. My wife, who is she's knowledgeable about sports, but I call her more sports tolerating me watching sports. This is appointment viewing for her, and it's not just something we've got into the last couple of years. Heck no, man. We've been doing this. We've been watching basketball like this for 17 years now. This the whole time that we've been married. This is our weekend where we have a good time with it, and it's a lot of fun. It's a way to bring the family together for something that we guys like, I guess. So, if your wife isn't necessarily into sports, isn't necessarily into basketball, hand her a bracket. Ask her to fill one out and tell her that you're gonna enter her as in the pool with the guys at work, and I guarantee you that she's gonna be watching some basketball with you. Come here Thursday and Friday, because she's gonna want to know if Davidson it did well and beat Michigan State because her grandmother married a Davidson, so anything like that. But man, so everybody. We're gonna be back tomorrow night. I'm gonna have myself a bracket. I'm gonna do my analytics and my backwards calculating of who's gonna get there. Like I told you, I'm gonna have all mine set up to tomorrow. We're gonna pretty much we'll have a little more Tom Brady to talk about tomorrow night, I'm sure. But it's again going to be a very, very, very heavy basketball. This was just some quick initial thoughts on it. So. Everybody, if you took the time to join me tonight, man, I really appreciate it. I had a great time. I hope everybody else did. I hope everybody who's got to watch this has had some fun. So make sure you join us tomorrow night when we're back with Motion Sports, the show, on all of the social networks right down there on the bottom. Make sure that you're following. If you missed, this will be up on YouTube. Make sure that you've found the Motion Sports Network YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, make sure your notifications are on, because this is live on YouTube as well. So you're not going to miss it. I've almost done an hour. Everybody, thank you so much for your time that you spent here with me. Until tomorrow, this is America's most adorable co-host for Motion Sports Network signing off. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.